Sorry, everybody. I apologize for being late. I was late and had a impromptu baseball practice, so I got back to the house a little bit later than usual. Don't usually have practice on Tuesdays. Let's see. T, thank you, sir, for the super sticker. You did not have to do that. Oh, I appreciate you, T. Yeah. So we'll talk about the last episode we just put up here recently. In a second. What's up, Eris? What's going on, my friend? What's up, Nate? Broken Tool. Oh yeah, and we're gonna talk about that stuff that Nate and Eris recommended. Where's it at? I have it here somewhere. Where did I put that stuff? All right, guys, I gotta show you guys this trim stuff that Nate recommended. It is primo. I'm not gonna lie. I've never seen the trim look so good on the boss. What's up, Mark? Broken Tool Garage. I don't know if I said hello. What's going on? What's up, Laguna? Matt. What's up, Chad? For Blue Gauge, what's going on? Saying hi, dropping thumbs up, driving from town to town tonight. Had to deliver an engine. Okay. All right. Okay. Cool. What's up, peeps? Okay. So, God, man, I can't get my laptop to stay up. So we just did the Brutus. Get away from the car. Brutus. Sorry, guys. Brutus is bumping into the boss. Did you knock it off? Here. Yeah. Big meatball head here. So, last episode, we just put up our appreciation episode for pretty much the way I did it was, and I got to go back and double check. I tried to recognize everybody who's really contributed to the channel as far as like, digging into your own pockets. Like, I really feel weird like when seeing people do that kind of thing here. I never know how to react, and it's kind of humbling when that people are willing to support something you do out of their own pockets, right? So I've always kind of been a little awkward about that, but I figured like putting everybody on the trunk is something small, just a small token of my appreciation, and I think it's kind of cool because all those people basically made this car what it is right now and drivable for Foxtoberfest last year. And so like if it wasn't for people watching the channel, the super chats, which are unreal that people even do that. The Fox would not have been ready for Foxtoberfest, and we were able to get it looking. It looks good. It looks good, but it runs good for what it is, but it's not a very fast car. So the goals this year are definitely shifting a little bit. I want to get the new Fox top on. Brennus, would you chill out? For Pete's sake. I want to get the new Fox top on so that way the whole car is pretty clean from the exterior point of view. Usually it's down. You don't even notice it's ripped, but I'd like to get that new top on. I got some trim pieces inside that need to get fixed and repaired or re-dyed. But this motor, man, you guys wait until you see that. So there's a video premiering tomorrow. I think I have it premiering at 7. I think it's premiering at 7, maybe 6. I think it might be premiering at 6. And we did the Fox body. We did 0 to 60s in the Fox body, 0 to 60s in the Explorer, 0 to 60s in the Toyota Sequoia. And I'm not going to spoil it for you guys, but there is we need to do something about this car. This silver Fox body needs something. The carburetor over there is calling my name. So MJI did send me a video on the conversion in EFI to carb conversion. I need to sit down. And the problem is just finding time. But I need to sit down and start watching videos on how that conversion's done, because I would love to get this thing just some more, a little more juice with the engine that's in there, because right now that other engine is still not good to go yet. We got to get a bunch of parts for the other motor. I got to get the bolt hole re-welded, and like I said, one of the biggest pieces of advice I've ever gotten doing this was to focus on one project at a time. And I think right now I do want to focus on this. I want to get the blower, because if I don't do it, I'm never going to do it. So I think that's kind of my logic behind that. Hey, what's up, Milo? Hey, man, it was good seeing you this weekend. My video so this weekend we did our local racetrack does a Cars and Coffee once a month on the racetrack, which is pretty cool. Cars get to line up on the track. It's a good time. I wish, Eris. I wish, but I'm waiting to see Ford Blue Gauge do his Fox Body GT500 swap, and that should be. He's starting to make progress on that. It sounds like. Hold on, let me grab something real quick. Where is it? I've lost it already. That's not good. I think I put it down over here. Hold on, guys. Oh, shit. Well, I can't find it, but Eris and Nate, you guys kind of recommended, I think, a trim restore, and that stuff works phenomenally. I was kind of hesitant at first because, like, when I did it right, I don't want to say residue, but like you bump it and it got all like get on my arm. But now looking at it, how it's kind of settled, it looks phenomenal, and I can't get over how dark it is. But yeah, so let's go ahead and talk about some other stuff here. I'll let people on the panel here soonish. So the Dark Horse and the Mustang order banks are open, right? So like, is anyone interested in getting one of those? Because I don't think they're gonna be tunable. They're talking about it being encrypted. I mean, yeah, somebody will jailbreak it eventually, I think, or some Ford guy will leak whatever the requirement is to get out of there. Oh yeah. Well, my grandmother, Laguna, my grandmother is literally off the boat from Denmark. My grandfather, when he was a midshipman in getting ready to commission in the Navy, they have a merchant mariner ship at the school he went to. He went to SUNY Maritime, and they sailed to Copenhagen. He met my grandmother there. They were together for a night, and he proposed the next day, and they've been married for like 60-something years. And but she's like, she did her ancestry DNA test, and it was like 99.8% Scandinavian, and mine was in 24.9% or something like that. Yeah, man, your Camaro is looking good too, man. I like that. I do like the Zeal. So Milo here. He had a Saline, and they sold that, and he has a ZL1 Camaro. And I think he's trying to sell that, and he's looking at getting into a drag car here soon. Oh, he's saying it looks good. Okay. Yeah, it takes time, and for sure. But I'm curious, like, so like the engine upgrades they were talking about, right? They're doing. Said they're doing the GT500 rods, right? Let's see what else they're doing. Let me look this up real quick. Let's look up the Google webs. Dark Horse engine. don't know if they're even have information on this yet. But all right. What's up, Fat Boy Fox? No, Eris. They're just saying she's perfect the way she is. What's up, Carmob? But yeah, let's go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and open this up because I don't know how long I'll be on tonight. But I'm curious as what your guys' thought is of the new Mustang. If anyone's interested, because I've already got a bunch of friends on Facebook that are already placing orders, and I don't know. I think it's crazy because I've seen some people pricing them out, and it just blows my mind seeing a Mustang for like 60% or sorry 60-month loan come in at over $1,000 a month. It just seems insane to me, and like I can't fathom it. I've never even spent more than $500 a month on a car. Let's see. So it says the engine, Dark Horse is a 5.0, 500 horsepower. Okay. Okay. Dark Horse includes a piston connecting rods. First feature. Yep. So that's what I was talking about. Featured in the latest 500 in the dual throttle body intake. Okay. Unique lighter radiator, more powerful fans, auxiliary engine cooler, oil cooler. Okay. So it sounds a lot like it's just a Gen 3 with a dual intake and upgraded connecting rods. But the question's getting posed in the boss groups a few times on some people considering selling their boss, getting a Dark Horse. What would you guys do? Eris, I'm looking at you and Nate because you guys are the other two boss guys in here too. If you had the money and it was no object, what would you do? Oh, here we go. What's up, mate?
What's up?
So if you had the money, would you get a Dark Horse?
I'm conflicted. I could say it looks like a Camaro, but with the Camaro going away, who can say it looks like a Camaro anymore?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it provides enough extra for the price.
I like it, but I just don't like. I think it. I mean, what's the manual trans they're putting in there?
MT82.
Yeah.
I still think they're doing the MT82. Let me look.
Well, I mean,
no, they're doing the Tremec in that.
Yeah.
I like the way it looks over the GT.
Well, I don't blame you, Carmob. Yeah, and Laguna's in here too. That's right. Appreciate it, Carmob. Let's see.
I want to say I appreciate you putting me on the trunk. You didn't have to do that.
No, man.
I'm here for you, man.
No, I appreciate it. No, I honestly like it. Just I do this for fun, and the fact that people have, you guys don't have to be generous like that. So I got to do something, and I've already put a few people like MJI. He came to my house and helped me. He drove freaking 4 hours. The goodness was, and first of all, for that, let me set the stage here. So we were texting. He said he was going to come to my house, help me install headers. Mind you, I had never met MJI at that time. I didn't know what he looked like. And so I was kind of nervous about it because I told my wife this guy's coming to my house to help me install headers. And it worked out really good. He's a great guy. And, we got to hang out later on, too, up at his place before Foxtoberfest because he lives right over there.
Nice.
But, yeah, I mean, I've been putting people on the Fox anyone who's really done something to help further the build because, the way I do it, if it's all on my lonesome, right? It's not that things don't get done. It does take a while. So like any little bit that helps things move along a little bit faster is great. And I feel like that all those people who've contributed to it, I need to recognize them in some way. And so the crazy thing is though, so like if I ever sell this car, I'm gonna have to take the trunk off and replace the trunk with something else. And
I'm sure it won't be too hard to find another silver trunk in a junkyard somewhere.
Well, it doesn't have to be silver. Like I can just rattle can. I know the exact paint code.
That works.
Rattle can it and then clear it and throw it back on.
That works.
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know what's up, Herb? Michigan Muscle Car Garage. Let's see. Big Stick Rick's in here. Hey, what's up, Big Stick? And yeah, I mean, I think you'll be able to do the basic repairs, right? Because I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's still a Coyote, and they're very, bolt on, bolt off, unless you get into the internals, and then it gets a little bit more complicated. But I mean, they're still modular engines.
I wonder if Ford will ever change that. I don't want them to. I have a fear that they will out of nowhere.
Go the route of BMW and be as hard to work on as possible.
Yes. And just as reliable.
Hey, no worries, Car Mob, man. A lot Car Mob between you, Sublime. There's a bunch of guys in here, and Barbecue Mike's in here too. Like a lot of you guys, man. I've been talking to you guys since I was at I don't know. I think I started talking to that group when I was at 350, maybe 400 subscribers or so. And so it's been a long time.
That is quite a long time.
What's up, Chad? Well, back then I was like an MGB / Mustang on the side channel. And then it became an all Mustang channel later on. But yeah, man, I like the Dark Horse, but honestly, for the price tag they're going for, I think I'd still rather just go grab a 350.
Yeah, I don't see where they're offering enough.
Like even if it was gonna, I mean, I'd have to get a 350. It's a whole new motor. It's a different car altogether.
I say that back whenever the Boss came out, it isn't like it offered a pile more than the GT. Well, what was it? Another 30 horse with the Boss?
What are you talking about?
Whenever they came out with the 12 and 13 Boss.
Oh, yeah. So it was I think they were making 411.
Yeah, so you're talking
the GTs, and then it came out 444 for the Boss. And then 13, they kept it the same, so it was really only making 24 more horsepower in 13.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not BMWs too fast, but I used to have. So in high school, I had a 1997 VW Passat. It was the Wolfsburg edition with a VR6 engine. I love that car. It was so much fun to drive. I had to replace the clutch in high school, and I had to use a big chunk of my graduation money to pay for it. And I'm talking a big chunk. And my mechanic's exact words were, "I've never had a car that fought me so hard to be fixed." So I kind of lump all German cars together. We had a couple guys here with some, I don't even know the names of the Mercedes, but the big V8 supercharged versus the bi-turbo V8.
Turbos. I see a lot of them run around up here in New York. That seems like the car of choice.
No, there we go. Big say I can't. I've been talking to so many of you guys for so long. I can't remember where I met everybody. For the people that come in like MGB Chuck, it's obvious where I met him. And then you got people on here. So I should recognize him too. So Sean, I think his name is Sean Henry for his channel, but Sean, he's up in Canada, and he followed me because he had an MGB, and he followed me for my MGB stuff. And then he kind of stuck around because he liked the chats on the lives, and he ended up selling his MGB and buying a Mustang because he enjoyed being in this group so much. It was pretty funny, I thought.
You tend to want things with people that you enjoy being around and being interested in the same things.
Yeah, triple threat. You're starting to think about the 650 customization. Have you taken your car out at all yet, Nate?
Yeah, I finally was able to do a stock exhaust video. I got 1 day, and then it snowed yesterday.
I took the boss to my son's practice today. I also took it to track the track was Cars and Coffee on Saturday, and I did some 0 to 60 pulls with the mini bosses on the back, just playing with my draggy, and I thought it was pretty fun. I was trying to get some 0 to 60s on the way to my son's practice, but I could not find a straight line of road that I had enough time to stop and go.
So I wanted to try to. I'd never actually tried to look for a place to make an exhaust video because I didn't want something with traffic. And there's not every road is a 2-lane road up here. There is no dirt or just.
Oh, you're talking about putting the camera on the side of the road?
No, yeah.
So I did it one time, and I found this road middle of nowhere. Oh, sort of middle of nowhere, pretty close, and I did not see any cars. I got out. I put my camera up on the embankment in bushes. I also didn't want someone to see it. Like back then, I used to use a cell phone on a tripod. I didn't want someone to see my phone, get out and take it, because I back up a long way, and I got a heck of a flyby in this thing. I was screaming, and then I passed it the second time, and I go up and I stop my car real quick to get out and grab it, and by the time I come back, a car had pulled around the corner and was like behind me, and they're like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah." And a police officer also was coming behind them, and I was
That's
like,
even better. That's my biggest thing. I'm waiting for a cop to show up, drive by.
Well, I keep the combination of Waze and radar is undefeated so far for me.
Yes, that was what was nice. I was like, well, if there's a cop nearby, it'll pick it up.
I appreciate that big stick. Yeah, I like doing the light videos because we do support the local charities here, and there's that was where I recognize like people like Rich, man, that guy's way too generous, and he donated a lot. We were able to give a good sized check to Hope for the Warriors, who's doing some good stuff for people who've gotten out and are struggling. I changed the front axle shaft on my 550xi last week. Only took an hour. I'll do the other side next. Okay. It's not bad. What's up, Zach? Yeah, it'll be kind of interesting to see what you do. I can't get excited about the S650. Maybe that will change. The only thing I like is the dual intake on. Yeah, I do like that. That'd be cool if they could like retrofit something for the boss.
Somebody will come up with something, and then they'll start doing it on previous generations.
Well, I don't think I have this thing tagged.
It was just in the chat whenever I got on, so it's probably pushed through.
I don't think I pinned it, so I'm gonna see if I can pin it real quick. I don't know how long we'll stay on. I didn't mean to get home so late. Oh, great. Oh, bear with me. Where did I post it? There it is. Pin message. Oh, good. I can do it from my phone. Fantastic. Speak of Rich, there he is. Funny. No, I'm not lowered. So what I did, Eris, is I put the Roush, because I always want. So if you've been watching me for a while, I've always talked about trying to get the Cook side pipes. Still hoping one day to get them, or not. If not, maybe do something crazy like my buddy did with the boom tubes, because they look freaking sick. And if I do execute something like that, I can't lower the car because it's going to hit like the Cooks. I know for a fact will scrape at stock height very easily if you're not careful. So what I did to mitigate that in the meantime is I put the Roush side splitters on, and everybody thinks the car's lowered because it makes the car look like it's lower. Like there's not a lot of clearance under there, and it looks really good. It also, like the way they stick out, it also I think makes the rear, even the stock width rear wheel, like look like it's protruding more.
I've noticed that about them. I've thought about getting them for my car just to break up, because like you have the black bottom rocker covers.
Yeah.
Mine's got the painted. I've thought about getting them just to break it up.
Well, so the nice thing about the 13s is the Roush, not only do they make the side splitters, but they also make them for the your rear bumper.
Yeah, I did see that. They don't have that for yours?
No, but people have like made them work. I've seen people custom do stuff.
That's weird because your bumper is different than the 13.
But I also think it looks really good. So I put the splash guards up front, and I think it complements the splash guards too.
Them splash guards, I put them on just for the simple fact of when I got the car, there was trash from one wheel to the other slung. It was just rubber. I was like,
why I was having that, and where I was parking at work, I wasn't like gravel, but there was like teeny little pebbles in the parking lot, and I could hear them hitting my car, and it was driving me insane. So I'm like, I got to do something about this.
A lot of our roads are tar and chip, so they'll fix them in the summer, and then you're driving up and down the road and you don't know it. And then all of a sudden you drive through. There's a sand and gravel pit, which is where I found a place to do videos, and it's just gravel everywhere. I was like, I hear it hit my car. I'm like, I'm glad I have flaps on this thing because I know it'd destroy the front.
Eris, I know you're still in here. Eris, I just remembered that I think we were talking about a shirt. So I need your size, man. Hit me up on Instagram. I think I forgot to grab. I apologize. I think I owe you a shirt. I owe Sublime a shirt, but Sublime can wait. But Eris, yeah, send me your size, Eris. I can't remember. I'm with you, the Cooks. I had a boss side by side with a lowered boss last week. Now mine feels like it. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like mine's high, like it is high, but I know it would look really good lowered. But then again, like I have no, I think about my driveway, and my driveway is not like overly steep. It's not. And even at my driveway, I need to come out at an angle or my front lip's going to scrape. So I'm not really willing to do anything that's going to make my life more difficult.
Luckily, the owner before me scraped up mine for me.
Well, I don't blame you there, Rich. I wouldn't sell your Shelby for that either. And I wouldn't sell my Boss for Dark Horse, but there is discussion in the Boss owners group. People are posing that question, and they're like, some people have already like ordered one, and they said they're going to wait to the last minute to decide whether or not they're actually going to go through with it.
You probably seen the same post I did.
Yep,
I seen it earlier today.
I put lowering springs on the Fox, but with aluminum head, it's probably still going to be stock height. Okay. Yeah, my Fox can get lower. I could lower the Fox for sure. But
those are monster trucks.
I need to do something about. I mean, it looks good the way it sits because I put the 17s. I think I put 17s on here, and they look good on it. Dude, wait till tomorrow's video, man. It's brutal. It's so brutal. Like I'm so disappointed. I'm not even gonna lie. I think they're probably giving away what's gonna happen, but I am so disappointed in the Fox body. I can't even say it. It's all right though. It looks good cruising, but I got to do something about power in that thing, man. It needs something. Now, what's surprising is the draggy times between my daily and my wife's daily. Was very unexpected. I thought her car would wipe my car's butt and just destroy it.
I'll tell you what, before I sold my Sequoia, I believe it was probably one of the faster SUVs I've ever owned.
Well, it's because I think I was watching videos about it. The way the intake works is I think it can adjust to maximize torque in low and high RPM. So I think it changes I don't know if the runners change or something inside changes to change the distance the air has to flow. But man, it's got a ton of torque for a 4.7, and
Yeah.
the 0 to 60 time I Googled, I was right there. I was right at it. So I mean, with a
That's
freaking
impressive for the mileage you have on it too.
exactly. I was like, and well, I mean, I was a little above it. I was like 0.4 above the posted time, but you got to take into consideration. I'm not an empty car. Like I have a lot of crap in there, just for the sake of having it.
Yeah.
Dealers are going to mark up the crap out. So I saw somebody get one for $5K more. I saw another person say they got it at MSRP, but I think they have a hookup. And then I think I saw a couple people posting that they were seeing it for $20K more. I can't fathom paying an extra car's price as a markup.
I can't fathom paying the normal price, the MSRP.
Exactly. Like I can't imagine having $1,000 Mustang payment. Like I got my boss and I was paying, I want to say my payments were like $404 a month. And that was good. That was a good price.
That is a good price.
And I was zero money down.
I'd put 10 down and mine's 6. That tells you how much prices have gone up on them since you bought yours from when I bought mine.
I got mine for 26 out the door.
Mine was 40. And that was pretty much what they all were at the mileage I was looking at.
Yeah. Yeah, I was actually thinking Stupid Fast Truck. I was going to the way I was planning this live, and then I was like, you know what? Nobody wants to sit here and watch that. I was going to go on the Ford website and we were going to build one together, but I decided not to do that. What's up, Victor? Yep.
I think there was quite a bit of content from Ponies and Smokies. I didn't watch any of them. I seen Connor posted. He had like a live.
Yeah, it's a good time, man. I wish I could have gone this year, but we just bought our camper. I was waiting for my tax return. We've already planned some trips in our camper, so I was like, yeah. I was like, maybe I could haul the camper out there, but then I was like, man, that's a lot in gas, because that, like, I already get like 8 to 9 on flat roads. I can't imagine what I'm going to get trying to go up a mountain.
Yeah. So get this. My uncle passed away 3 weeks ago. I go to his funeral, stay at my aunt's all weekend, make sure she's all good. And we talked her into going to she was going to North Wilkesboro anyways with us to the race and going to go to Charlotte. And then her and her husband were going to drive back, and we were going to continue on down to Charlotte for the next weekend for the Coke 600. So he passed away, and the whole time during the funeral, she's worried about, we need to talk about this. We'd like to go. What do you think about coming down here? I'm like, your husband just passed away. Relax. We'll worry about this later. I'm the least bit concerned about it. We have tickets and everything. So by the end of the weekend, we talked her into going to both races. So we're going to drive down to her house, get in her motorhome, tow her car, and then we'll have a motorhome for the whole week. She calls me yesterday. She's like, hey, I'm doing titles and everything on all the vehicles. She sold my uncle's truck to a family member to get it out of the way. And she says, what would you think if I put your name on the registration of the motorhome, and then you and your girlfriend can come use it whenever you want? I'm like, well, why? Like, why? She's like, I'm not probably going to use it. She says, if I do, you're probably going to go with me anyways. She says, at least you feel better having registration in your name. She says, I'll keep up with everything. She says, I'll keep paying it as it is. I was like, if you feel like that's something you would like to do, that's fine. But don't feel like you're obligated, by no means.
Wow. Insurance on those bad boys. I've heard horror stories. I don't know. I wanted a Class C motorhome, but then again, like, I don't know.
What qualifies a Class C?
Class C is the one that's like basically like a Ford, like a truck with a, I don't know how to explain it.
With a big camper on it.
Yeah,
basically
huge,
on the chassis. Yes, that's what hers is.
And
Class
then
C.
the Class A is like your standard motorhome.
I'd have to look hers up. I forget how big she said it was. She told me because I had to ask for the size of it to know what size spot we needed.
I have not yet, Pinks. I literally got back from my son's baseball practice, and I came in here, and here is where we are. I have not had a opportunity to look at it, sir. All right, yeah. What was the name of that trim solution you told me about? I can't find it. I lost it already.
Solution Finish.
Solution Finish. It's in here somewhere. That stuff, dude, is top notch.
I told you I wasn't joking. Trust me, I've messed with so many products in my life that I figured out what works and what don't, and I don't even go to the store to buy things.
How often do you need to reapply
it? Most of the time, it'll last a couple years.
Well, I mean, then what do you do to clean it? Like, does it get wiped off?
No, you just clean it with alcohol when it starts to fade again and reapply. One thing you don't do is coat over it. That's a big thing. That was a big debate that everybody's kind of come to the conclusion just recently. Don't coat over it because it'll seal it in, and then when it fades, you can't redress it. So, like, they make a product called I have it. It's called Over the Top. It's a trim sealant. I still never put this away, so I just have it laying here. Yeah. So they have what it's called Over the Top plastic sealant, and it helps extend it even longer. And like with your boss, you'll probably never reapply it.
What's up, MJ? MJ, I got your text. I just haven't had a chance to reply yet. Yeah. Well, dude, I don't know. I gotta find time. I gotta invent time. Like I'm taking.
Well, when you do that, let me know.
What?
Let me know when you do that because I need that as well. I need to invent time.
Well,
I'll buy some off you.
The problem is, so I'm taking leave on Thursday, Friday, and excuse me. Oh man. Thank you. And normally what I would do is I would make a video out of it and get it up, but the kids are going to be home. Like, because usually if I'm taking leave, it's just to have a day off.
Yeah.
And, but now I'm doing it to watch the kids, and I don't see how I'm going to make the video with them there. Like, I could load them all in the Boss. I could shoot the Roush exhaust video. I won't be able to do a flyby, but I could put one on the bumper and drive with that. I can get the Roush footage out of the way, and then all I have to do is get the Flowmasters on. Because I've been trying to get these Flowmasters on that Brad sent, and I feel bad because I don't want things sitting here, especially if someone's send it to me with a purpose, right?
Yeah.
So I physically have not had the time to get it done. And just same with my brakes, man. My brakes one of my brakes is squeaking a lot, and I'm pretty sure they all need to be replaced. I've put probably almost 30,000 miles on the car, and it's not been a nice 30,000 miles. So these brakes have got to be near the end of their life.
I was actually going to ask you. So have you had, like, since you bought your car, have the brakes always squeaked? Like,
no.
Slight squeaks. Mine have a slight squeak since I bought it. Brakes are fine, and the rotors don't seem to be warped. There's just a slight every once in a while it'll come on, depending on the day.
See, it's mine's. That's exactly what's happened. Mine, but I hear like the constant.
Oh yeah, I don't have that.
And it's after I've used it pretty hard, and slowing down, I can tell something's not right. I can tell, like I hear like a whirring noise when I'm slow when I'm really mashing it, and I was like something is not right.
Probably time.
I'm sorry to hear that, Zach.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to have my back done now.
Yeah, I got a torn labrum, and I'm supposed to have surgery in my shoulder, but I'm delaying.
I'm going the 12th of June to find out, see what they think we're going to do, because it's looking like I already had back brace for a while, and now I think we're down to the last option where I'm probably just going to have surgery done to it to fix this for a while.
Well, hopefully that's a permanent solution. What is up, dudes?
Well, according to what I found, it's going to be 4 to 6 hours, so I will be going out for a while.
Yeah. But
Because they're going to be putting rods and screws in my back, which is just awesome what I needed, but whatever.
my dad's had his back surgery, and he's now a shorter person.
That's something I've always wondered. Has people always had back problems through life, and it just seems like it's more common now because it can be fixed that you hear about it?
There's some interesting new solutions coming out for some of these back surgeries. So like, usually you'd have to have a fission or a fusion to replace like a ruptured disc or fix a ruptured disc or something like that. But now I think there's like newer procedures coming out where there's even like I don't know if it's like a disc replacement or something, but where it's not going to cause you to get shorter because they've had to connect things over and over and over.
Yeah.
It's just taking out a bad and putting something good in artificially. I don't know enough about it. I'm not a medical guru.
It might have been the disc that did it, but it's not. It's my spine being really annoying because of the whole issue. I have a whole curved spine instead of being straight has been messing me really bad.
Do you ever remember the movie Bicentennial Man with Robin Williams?
Yes.
It's a long time ago.
Yeah,
I feel like we're going to be going the other way. So he starts out as a robot and ends up finally being declared a human. I feel like we're moving as
Come on in, Laguna.
Way.
You're welcome to hop in here, sir. But yeah, I mean, I was thinking about that, like just not that, but I was thinking about progress forward, like especially in the car community. I was like, man, my kids are driving. Are there going to be manuals anymore? Like, are there going to be manuals available for my kids?
Mustang, there won't be.
Mustang Challenger's going away, so what options are they going to have? Yeah. So you know what? All right, I'm not trying to just like to get off topic here, but like it was in the news like a couple months ago that nuclear fusion was achieved. I don't think anyone understands how big of a deal that is. That's a huge deal. And the fact that it's not been talked about more is blowing my mind.
Fill me in. I have no clue.
Basically, fission collides two particles and you get a reaction from them, right? Fusion, you put in a little bit of energy, but the amount of energy you get out is now you got me double. Hold on, stand by. You know what? Rather than me make up a definition, what is nuclear fusion? Here we go. So nuclear fusion is the process by which two light atomic nuclei combine to form a single heavier one while releasing massive amounts of energy. So basically, like you're putting in just a little bit of energy and you're getting out
a lot.
So it's
almost
like it's basically
it'd almost be like a transformer in electric.
It's perpetual energy essentially.
Okay. Stupid fast.
What is up, sir? You hear us?
Hello, gentlemen.
You there?
Just doing a little legal
say
work
something.
this evening.
Oh.
Yeah, I hear you fine. Can you hear me?
Yep, I hear you now.
Perfect. Just doing a little legal work tonight I got a case up tomorrow. So.
Okay. You a lawyer?
Yeah, I do DUIs now. Practice.
Where are you out of?
Pardon me?
Where you live?
I'm in Bartlett. I'm just western suburbs of Chicago.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you put the red stripes on, or did a previous owner do it?
It came with red stripes. Somebody, it's a day 2 modification. Somebody must have done that, the prior owner, because it's supposed to have silver.
Yeah, yeah, but it's kind of cool because it's unique. Just like the guys who's got the one of one freaking blaze yellow and white stripes.
Right. Yeah. I've seen that. I've seen that one.
I've seen it in person. I saw it at the American Muscle Show back when they were still doing it.
That's a rare one.
Yeah. Well, the guy who had it used to be a Canadian car, and it might still be up there, but it was traded into a dealership, and another guy bought it, and he didn't realize it was a one of one until later on. But there's a couple super cool one of ones out there. The one that my favorite is the one that the Ford CEO had. It was a 2012 that was matte black, and he put gloss black stripes on it. And it is probably the meanest, coolest looking boss I've seen.
I've never seen that.
I got a picture of it. Hold on. I saved the photo because it's like, honestly, if I ever did a wrap, this is what I'm doing.
There's a red one for 2013. It was a raffle. It was Candy Apple Red. It was a Boss 302 Laguna Seca. That's one.
I think I've seen that one. I have seen that one. There's a couple really rare charity ones out there that were done up as one-offs. All right.
I'm getting a bit of an echo here. Is there any way I can get rid of that?
Do you have the YouTube stream still open?
Maybe. I don't know.
If you do, mute it, and it should be fine.
StreamYard. Yeah. Okay. Let's see where I can do that.
Oh, here it is. All right, I'm going to share my screen here. This is I wish if I ever had to update my car, this is what I would do. Oh, and there's a video too. That's even better. All right, hold on. Let me share this real quick. All right, I'm going to share my screen. And here we go. So this is it.
I'm not normally a matte black person, but that looks good.
I love it, dude. I would absolutely wrap my car this color, and then I would get the are these like Laguna wheels? I can't even tell. But here's a video too. If it'll play. Oh, it's got it's like a Whipple on it. Oh, that's gnarly. I didn't know it had a supercharger.
Yeah, they did the matte black wheels, just the Laguna Seca wheels too.
But yeah, this was owned by a Ford CEO, and he sold it at Mecum a few years ago. Oh, he's got the
5,700 miles.
Got the gauge pod, a red stripe. Okay.
5,700 miles. Heck, he drove his car.
Yeah, a little bit. Probably has a couple of cars.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a Laguna. It's actually a Laguna. So, the rarest Laguna.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
I wish I was some big corporate guy at like Ford or some massive place where you hear about that all through the years, of where like CEOs and stuff have special cars made like one-offs because they can.
Stupid fast truck. I didn't want to say anything, but yeah, Sublime might have found his lawyer. He's in Chicago.
Is he even on here today? I haven't seen him.
I think I might have saw him earlier, but I can't remember. So, Eric, so what are you working on your Laguna? You got any projects coming up for it? Oh, you muted your mic. You got to unmute that.
How's that?
There you go.
Yep. No, I desperately need to do an oil change on it and also swap out the antifreeze. That needs a coolant change for sure. So.
Yeah, I recommend you swap to, if you're orange, to swap to the yellow.
Okay.
Because the orange, Ford stopped using the orange because it was plugging up the heater coils.
Okay, yellow. All right.
I got to.
Oh, it was.
I
Okay.
have it.
They were plugging up heater coils, and it was. I mean, it's not super likely to happen, but also when it starts to break down, there was compounds in there that were becoming like acidic, I believe.
Wow, I gotta make a note of that.
But I swapped to yellow. I did a brief video on it, and I only found out about this because I had a mission. Well, I had a Boss 302 radiator. Oh, obviously the OEM radiator, and it got taken out by a piece of road debris. So I swapped to a Mishimoto. Mishimoto has a lifetime warranty on their radiator. The one I installed started leaking, and I was looking at trying to find some orange coolant, and I was like, and you can still buy it, but when I Googled it, like some TSBs started popping up, and I was reading them, and I was like, well, they're made. And if I talked to HPR, Ken from HPR's channel, I was talking to him because he was a Ford tech, and he said, yeah, back in about 2020, they started making the swap over to yellow.
Okay, good to know.
If you go to Ford, I think if you tell them what your car is, I think all the TSBs come up because I don't think I knew to get the yellow, but in case they gave me orange, but they gave me yellow. So
nice. I also had to get rid of the wheels. The wheels I have on there are 10 years old. They're the original wheels, or tires rather. The tires.
Are they Pirellis?
Yeah, Pirelli P0 courses.
Yeah, I hated my Pirellis. Like they're not terrible, but like once they get old, there's zero grip there. At least I had no grip in mine.
They're hard as a rock right now. So
I'd sell my Boss to buy that Boss. Yeah, exactly. Like it'd be, I do have a lot of memories of my Boss, but I think as long as I stay in a Boss, I'd be fine.
You got to hang on to some stuff, I mean, my dad had a 32 Ford 5-window coupe in my grandmother's backyard. That's my first memory as a kid. I played on that car. Like he took it apart. He had the chassis in one section. He had the body in another. Never put it back together. So yeah, I mean, he hung on to stuff, but he didn't always put it together.
Oh, I could never get rid of this. Never.
I wouldn't do it.
I've got too much sentimental value there.
Well, that's the thing. It's memories. It's memories you put in the car that you get attached to, and once it's gone, then your memories are gone with that car.
Yep.
Mine's sitting right there.
That's a beauty. Look at that school bus yellow. Love it.
I'm talking about the truck behind it. That's the one, the sentimental value.
Oh, I see. Okay, I got you.
It's my dad's truck he bought in '96. It's the truck I grew up in. He tried to get rid of it 100 times. I told him I'll go get a loan. Tell me how much you want me to pay. And he
my first car was a '69 coupe, a Mustang coupe. I wish I still had it. I mean, it was just a pile of junk, but I still dream about it sometimes. I'll have a dream at night and think, oh, and I wake up, it's like it's gone. So
I think my dad's probably the only person on earth that he had a '67 Camaro. It wasn't an SS, wasn't an RS. I actually think it was a 6-cylinder car. And he put a 350 in it, blew it up. 400 blew it up. And then he sold it. And he doesn't really pay any attention to the fact he doesn't own it. I've asked him, would you ever buy it back if you had a chance? No, doesn't really bother me.
Rich says they went to yellow coolant in 19. Okay, I was a year off. But
good to know.
But so yeah, you gotta be careful because there are some shady dealers out there. Because I brought this up, I posted this in the Boss Owners group, and then a couple of the guys, there was 1 or 2 people who were saying that they went to their Ford tech and they were still trying to sell them the orange coolant. Because like technically, as long as it's like pretty new, you can run it, but if it's not what's recommended anymore, why would you want that?
Absolutely, yeah.
See, I don't know. Like they recommend running the DCT transmission fluid now, and I didn't. I put in the manual transmission fluid from Ford because you can still get it. You just can't. If you go to Ford, they want to complain about.
Oh, I swapped. So I've tried a couple things. I went to the Calimer Cocktail in my stock trans, and when I did that, that's when my transmission started whining. And I was like, well, that's not good. And honestly, it might just be something normal because I've heard the MT82s will start whining eventually. It might be my throw-up bearing, might be a pilot bearing up front. It's something up front in the transmission. But then I swapped to I immediately dropped the Calimer cocktail after about 3,000 miles. I put in the BG Synchro Shift or BG whatever it is, the BG oil.
Synchro Shift too.
And that stuff, I love that stuff. I think it's good.
See, I asked my dealer because they are actually a BG dealer. I guess certain dealerships use BG fluids. Like they'll say certain fluids they will not use Fords. Like their rear end fluid, they're like, we won't use Fords motor. Yeah. We're gonna use BGs when they did my seal. I said, you guys are BG dealer? Yeah. I said, well, I need transmission fluid for this because I'm gonna change it. I'm sure it's never been changed. They gave me.
I need to be taking notes here. What is this fluid called? BG what?
BG Synchro Shift. So if you BG Synchro Shift 2, there, if you Google BG Synchro Shift, there's a company that makes an MT82 kit. It's literally everything you're going to need just to do the swap, and it's not crazily priced.
Okay. BG Synchro Shift for transmission. Okay, got it.
Yeah. So look up.
My question is, anybody know about Calimer? What's the thought on Calimer? Stage 1, stage 2, stage 3? Is that something I should? I don't drive my car like a maniac.
So I've got a stage 3 sitting under that tarp right there.
Oh wow. Okay.
I got it for a deal nobody will find ever. A buddy of mine bought it. He did the break-in. He made 2 passes at the track with a 900 horsepower car. And he's like, I can't shift fast enough. I'm the limiting factor in my car now. So he took it off and he went to a Power Glide transmission, and he sold it to me with an RXT clutch, brand new RXT clutch, and sold me all that together for $3,500.
I don't mind the whine. I mean, I'm all about noise in my car. If there's a whine, just put your earplugs in.
Well, so the Calimer Stage 3, you can if you Google Calimer transmissions, there's a breakdown of all the upgrades to each stage, right?
Right.
And the Stage 3 is the one that has the G-force gears, because I believe Calimer has an exclusivity clause or something in place to where G-force will only sell the MT82 gears that they make to him.
Okay.
So I got you got the G-force hardened gears in there and the Stage 3, and like the carbon pads, all that other craziness. This one's also upgraded from 23 spline to 26 spline. But I've heard good things about the Stage 3. Hey, later, Triple Threat. I listen to Alejandro Flores periodically, not all the time, but I've watched a couple of his videos too. And, being a Lund, I don't know if he still works for Lund, but at least an ex-Lund tuner if he doesn't. He's had some pretty bonkers cars, and he swears by the Stage 3. He says he loves it. He says he loves it. He likes the way the MT82 shifts more than the Tremec. Now, that's not saying that like the Tremec's worse. The Tremec's probably better than a stock MT82, but he says he likes the way the Calimer shifts better than the Tremec. And so, I kind of took his word because I got such a good deal on it. I think you could go Magnum XL or you can go Calimer. But if you're not going for like crazy power, you could probably do like a Stage 2 upgrade, get a little more of the nannies. I think the Stage 1, it's really not too much more. I'd have to look at.
I think I would go straight Stage 3. I mean, I'd be hardcore on that, even though I wouldn't drive it crazy.
And Stage 3, you will hear whining, but it's like
doesn't bother me.
It's a good whining. It's the race car.
Absolutely, right. So. Just put your earplugs in.
Yep. It was. Yeah, Frank, it was a crazy deal, and honestly, the way it worked. So at the time, it was kind of fun. It was kind of cool because I worked out a deal with him. He was a buddy of mine, and he's if you go back into the archives of my channel, right, there's a video. If you Google Boss 302 versus 2015 supercharged GT or something like that, it should pop up because his was like a sleeper GT because he had like hush power mufflers on. It was so quiet. All you heard was the supercharger. But where's I going with the story? Now I'm blanking out. Oh yeah, so he sold me that transmission combo for such a good deal because he bought his Mustang from Carvana, and I just done my Carvana video. So I'd quickly used up all my Carvana referrals because people were asking me for my referral code, and you got like $100 each time you referred somebody, but they max you out at 10. So I made a deal with him. Hey, you know, I'll pay you this, and I will put your referral code information in for all these other people. So I helped him out a little bit, and he ended up getting not probably everything it was worth, but he got you know, a good amount of money out of it, and I got a good deal on it. And I got a good friend out of it too. You know, he's helped me. He's the guy who he came up here and he towed my Fox body to my house because I didn't have a car that could tow it when I bought it.
All right.
Whenever
What do
it
you guys
comes
think
down,
about the Boss 302s? I've been looking into that a little bit. They don't use the MT82. They use the Tremec 6060, I think it's called.
Yeah, there's a couple iterations. So the S, there's the S and there's the R, and I
Right.
think the R is the R the race car.
They both are.
Well, which one's the like one of them? I think it's the R that has the multimatic transmission.
That I don't know. I know that the R has a fuel cell in it. The S has a regular gas tank.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of the cars they did outfit with a multimatic transmission for a while, and I know the Roush team was running Bosses for a while, and actually somebody posted a really epic video in the Boss group this week, and I saved it to go back and watch it later. But it was from a race in 2012, and there must have been like, I don't know, like 10 Bosses on the track at once, and then like 5 of them wrecked all together. It was pretty
Is it
wild.
the full coverage, race coverage on it?
He posted actually, let me see. He posted the clip, and did I save it? I messaged the guy.
What channel is it? I'm taking more notes here.
It was something very obscure. I'm not going to remember that.
Okay.
If
If you know what track it is, I'll probably be able to find it.
I'd have to go dig out and find it. If I find it, I'll shoot it to you.
All right, cool.
Hey Nate, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, there's a guy.
Sorry, I got to show Nate. Nate has used to have a Sequoia like me. I don't know if we showed you this, Nate.
yes, I like it.
That looks so good.
There's a guy he's got called 3 Pedal Productions. He has a blue 2014 Boss 302S. I didn't know they made a Boss 302S or Boss of any type in 2014, but they made 50 of them.
Yeah,
This one's blue with black.
They were still
black
racing
stripes.
them then, so they had to
Yeah.
call them 14. So,
But he does like a full 30-minute expose on it. The guy's, it's an amazing video on everything he did on it and all the little features on it that I haven't seen on any other video.
if
3
you
Pedal
were,
Productions.
so if you had awesome foresight, probably about 7 years ago, back when I bought my Boss, you could have gotten a 302S or a 302R car in the 30K range.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
They're not that now.
Yeah, and so now,
I still never even seen one.
so
other than videos.
so it wasn't too long ago that Ford Performance was selling all their race cars they were using for the Boss Track Attack.
Yeah. Hey, Nate, go to 3 Pedal Productions so you can see the full expose on that's the guy's channel anyway. I think he's out of Vancouver. He's out of British Columbia. So I think he bought it from Brown Brothers Ford. I think Brown Brothers, they've been around for ages. I think they sold a Shelby. They sold an R model Shelby back in 65 or 66. So
What's it called? 3 Pedal
3 Pedal Productions.
Productions.
Yeah, 3 Pedal Productions.
I'll
He's
be
got like a
going
3 minute. He also has what he termed a differential cooler, something I'm not familiar with. It's actually in the trunk, and it circulates the differential oil, runs it through a cooler. He's got a little switch on the auxiliary on this panel because they give you 3 auxiliary buttons from the factory that are blank. That's one of them. The other's for a cool suit.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was.
What's up, Gary? I'll be going to VIR, Connor, in June.
Let's see.
I'm going to do the Skip Barber Racing School for a day.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah, it's nice. They give you the options for like the track, their track insurance, and even if you pay $500, it's still a $5,000 deductible.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a 3-valve car. I'm really wondering like how hard can you actually push it, especially if it's got, soft, sticky tires on it.
For $5,000, you can go buy him another one.
Nah, it's going to be full on race car, but I'm sure it's like a $30,000 car total.
Sounds like a good time.
I'm excited about it. Yeah.
No, I just saw Yellowhammer. Did I just see Yellowhammer?
Yep, he's in here.
Hey, Connor.
Wow. 80-ish. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going up in price. I think they're gonna be like the new R models from the 60, 65.
Yeah, I mean it'd be really cool to have one. See, I wanted a rare car, and that's why I bought the Boss.
Right.
I wanted something rare, and obviously I would have wanted something even rarer, like the Laguna, but I needed the back seat, so like that wasn't an option. That's why I don't have a Corvette, because I need a back seat.
Yeah. To be perfectly candid, the Laguna Seca was my dad's car. He's 94 now. He's actually got him here in Chicago with me. I grew up in Toronto. He's lived in Toronto, but he's an American citizen. He at 91 years of age, he wanted to have a fast car, and I suggested go for the Laguna Seca. So, I mean, he bought it, and then he got to the point where he doesn't want to drive it anymore. My concern was that somebody might try to scam him out of it in Toronto, so I took it back to Chicago. He gifted it to me to watch it anyway. So, but he doesn't want to drive it anymore. So he said pretty much essentially said it's my car, but I don't think he's gonna be driving anymore. He drove to Chicago to visit me and my son. My son's from Germany. He was visiting, 14 years old, and he drove from Toronto to Chicago by himself at the age of 94 in his Dodge Caravan, and he got a speeding ticket in Ohio doing 92 and a 70.
I hope I'm like your dad. I hope I live to be that old, let alone
92 and a 70 though. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, he's 94 years old. It's like, what the hell are you doing? I found it when I was going through his stuff. I went to Toronto to see him because he told me to get there ASAP. He was kind of languishing, wasn't thriving like he normally would. I don't think he can look after himself anymore. That's why he's here. And I found this. What's this from Ohio? What motor vehicle division? I looked at it, it's 92 and a 70. So I don't know what to do with that ticket yet. He said, screw them. Don't pay it. He said, don't pay it. What are they going to do? He did the same thing when we went to Lime Rock Park in Connecticut. Connecticut. We went to Lime Rock Park to a Shelby convention. I was in his 89 Mustang, a red Mustang GT, and he got a speeding ticket for like 85 and a 65. And he just blew it off, didn't bother paying the ticket. He said, screw him. I don't have to pay it. I live in Canada. He never paid it and nothing ever happened. So I don't know.
Multiple warrants out.
Yeah, that's what my concern was at the border, that we would be detained because there was a bench warrant for his arrest and they would know it, but it may not have made the system, or maybe it's just local. I know when they do bench warrants, pardon me?
State to state.
Yeah, interstate
That's
compact, right. But Ohio abuts Michigan and we went through Port Huron, so. But
yes.
I mean, typically bench warrants for things like that, they typically are the surrounding counties, like here in Cook, or if it's a DuPage, where most of my practice is, it'll be warrants issued for Cook, Kane County, DuPage, obviously, surrounding counties, but it doesn't go much further than that. For the smaller infractions.
My grandfather's 94. He still drives, and he manages a multi-million-dollar business park still.
Wow.
I don't know how he does it. No idea. I'm hoping I have that presence of mind when I'm that age.
Yeah, it'll be the 18-wheel rig that kills me, I'm sure, at a stop sign.
What's going on, Noel? I don't think I've seen you in here. Welcome. Oh, did Noel win the big prize on Paul's channel? Is that what we're congratulating for? Yep, Paul DeFox was giving away either a turbo kit, a motor, 347, or a TKX transmission. Oh, congrats, man! What'd you pick? Which item? I'm sure I'm gonna say you went turbo. Take the turbos. I couldn't stay in there. I got back from my son's practice too late, so I wasn't able to make it.
I didn't even watch it at all. I was busy doing other stuff.
So have you done any upgrades to that boss? Or sorry, to the Laguna?
Oh, wait, no, I haven't done anything. Not at all. I don't even know if the baffles are in it. I take it they remove the baffles. Everybody likes to remove the baffles from the side exhaust. I'd have to check to see if they're there.
You'll know.
I mean, if it's not, so baffles, when you move the baffles, it should be decently loud out of there. It's when you cut out the resonators, then it gets really loud. Not loud, but it sounds really good.
Obnoxious loud.
It's not. I don't think it's obnoxious. I love it. Because honestly, I had never experienced an obnoxious exhaust until I ran my Fox body with open headers. And that was my come to Jesus moment. Like, wow, there is such a thing as too loud, and this is it.
Earplugs. It solves your problems. 30 decibels, it cuts it down.
Oh, it was really, really like I was like, man, there's no way I don't get a ticket if I drive this to work.
Be nice to have it with zoomies coming out under the front fenders.
So funny thing is, my buddy, a buddy from the boss group, I posted those videos of, he keeps sending me the clips of his car with the NASCAR boom tubes to share. And it sounds and looks really freaking cool.
Yeah.
But I found, that got me, I had already been searching for NASCAR exhaust because I was thinking about doing something on the Fox body back when I was putting my log tubes on. And I'd found a picture of some zoomies where they come out the sides under the driver's side and passenger side, but it's like, the four pipes.
Right.
And I was like, man, that would look so freaking cool. But I thought about it, I was like, man, what if I put that on the boss? Like, what would that sound like? I bet you it would be obnoxious. Like,
it's not just the sound, it's a look too. It looks totally threatening.
Yeah. But I was like, man, I bet you I was like I don't know if it would sound good because I was like the boom tubes, whatever their design is it makes the noise perfect.
Yeah.
I was like just having those zoomies, it might sound like complete crap.
Yeah, so they were originally, most of them were set up originally for long tube, equal length, tri-Y headers. Is what a lot of the teams of that time. So Morgan McClure was the original team to come up with the sound that everybody knows a boom tube for.
Yeah.
At Daytona in like early 90s. And there was a guy, Stapleton, he that's where I kind of learned about it and I started looking into it. And that's how I know that. So to just put them on long tube headers or just a factory exhaust probably sounds all right, but
yeah,
the look would be very cool. Yes.
Yeah. Well, this guy, so the guy I'm talking about, his name's Mark. He's in the Boss Owners group if you're on Facebook, which I know you are, Nate.
Yeah.
And he sent me pictures when he bought the boom tubes, and they stood out probably an extra 4 inches out from under the car. So he had to have them custom modified. So he had the shop, I think it was called Fluid something. Something, a company in Montana, I believe, but it's like Fluid Motor Works or something like that. But they modified it. They usually work on like Lambos and stuff like that. So he spent a pretty penny getting it done, and he just wanted it obnoxiously loud. So he got it there. He got it in. He drove it home. He said that he had to immediately put earplugs next to his keys. He said it was stupid loud. And then the first thing he said he was going to do, he said he started researching. He posted on the group too. He's like, he's trying to figure out what's like the fattest cam he could fit in that car and make it run like sound just obnoxious. Mm-hmm. So he was trying to make it chop like crazy, and cams for those engines are so expensive. You're swapping out 4 of them.
Yeah, I bet.
Let's see. Hey, good night, Gary. Yeah, I'm not sure how much longer I'm gonna stay on here. I do need to get some stuff taken care of, but I'm what's up?
How's your little one been doing? Has he been sleeping all right?
Yeah, he's doing better. We moved him from a crib into a bed way before we put our other two in there, and he's doing fine. My family went through the smattering of COVID, which really stunk. And then I've been dealing with trying to figure out what's up with my shoulder. I have a labrum tear, and my command's kind of been a pain in the butt about approving my transfer with my labrum tear. But I finally went to orthopedics, and they're like, "Yeah, you have full range of motion. Just like keep working out because it's holding everything together. Don't get lazy."
Didn't you get that tear at Walmart when you were reaching for something?
No, I got the tear probably in 2016 on a ship, and I was doing incline bench press with 90-pound dumbbells, and I think we hit a rogue wave, and the weight just went. And,
oh wow!
Yeah,
it's a workers' comp claim.
Hopefully, you're gonna help me sue the Navy, make me a millionaire.
Workers' comp doesn't make much though. It doesn't just like it just doesn't pay. I mean, I did a little bit of it, but I mean, the lawyers, it's 20% as a contingency fee, and there's just not a lot of money. It's just everything's capped. It's not a lot of money.
Victor, so I used to have an 05 GT, and the cams were the last thing I needed to do to have a full bolt-on NA car. And I really regret not having it done because the mother thumper cams on a 3-valve engine sound so good. I love the way the 3-valve sounds. A lot of people don't like them because they're turds for power, but I love the way they sound. I think they sound awesome.
I think they're one of the best sounding Mustangs out there.
They're my favorite. I'm not going to lie.
Outside of that, I have absolutely zero use for them.
I would see if I could pick up my dad's 3-valve, I would do what Skip Barber does, and I would turn it into a track day car that I would have, obviously you wouldn't want to crash it, but if I crashed it, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah. Have you decided if you're going to try to do, put your dad's louvers? Did you buy them to put them on a Fox body, or did
I still got them sitting here, and I haven't sold them for him either, but he was telling me he wanted, he looked up the price for them, and the price he gave me as his family member, I felt insulted, so I didn't pay for them. But no, I didn't want to pay that, so I'm just going to sell them for him.
So he's trying to charge you 10% more than everybody else. That'd be what my dad does. That's the family discount, 10% more.
No.
Then retail, not the discount.
And I might still do it because I think it would be cool. It'd be something different. But I'm also have my eyes on the lookout for a cowl hood around me. I just don't see them pop up for 2 or 4 eyes too often.
Oh, I had a question. What am I faced with doing an oil change? Is it 9.5 quarts of 5W50? I think it is 5W50, 9.5, or is it?
Yeah, I think it's 9.5, or is it 8.5?
8.5.
Oh, it's 8.5. Okay.
Yeah, and then
that's what I've seen because I looked it up. I got to do an oil change too.
Okay. Usually, in my experience, you're never going to get out that last half a quart fully. So usually about 8 will fill it up. Just keep an eye on it. You might need to add like a smidgen.
Okay.
But the best place, if you're sticking with the Motorcraft, which is what I've done lately, Rock Auto usually has pretty good prices. If you keep checking Amazon, I don't know if they still do it anymore, but there was a case of 12 that would periodically pop up for like $90. Oh, okay. And I would buy it every time I saw it, just to have it in my shop.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, the periodicity is supposed to be what it's like. It's full synthetic, so it's like 5,000 miles or every year, once a year. So I change it once a year.
It's 8.5 quarts. I just looked at my supplemental manual to double check.
Gotcha.
I actually bought Amsoil. I'm switching. I don't know what the dealership put in it. They put something, and it has an advanced auto parts sticker on the window, and it didn't dawn on me until whenever I went to do that exhaust video, I went, you know what? I wonder if they even put 550 in this. They probably put 530 in this thing.
Probably 520. That's what the
I don't
GT
know, but it's been used very hard for 5,000 miles with whatever oil they put in it. So
See, and that's a valid concern because when I took mine to the Ford dealership so I had free oil changes for life from the dealership I bought it from. And when I brought it in, I said, hey, this takes 5W50 full synthetic. They're like, no, it's 520. I'm like, no, it is 550 full synthetic. Because they were about to put in the 520. And so they had to go out back and grab a case because they don't have the they got 520 by the barrel. Well, and they can just pump it in there. Well, 550, they had to pull out the cases and individually fill it up.
So the reason why I say I don't know if they put 550 in it, because as I've drove the car and used it, and now the lights come on saying it's time to change the oil, and I see I put 4,000 or 5,000 miles on it. All Mustangs, everybody talks about the Coyote tick. My tick has gotten worse. Not a lot worse, but it's got a little louder on startup. And I went, you know what? I bet they didn't put the right weight of oil in this, so it's not pumping everything up all the way.
Do you have a catch can?
Mm-mm.
I
want to put one on it, but
when I got after I regret not doing it sooner. That's one of those ones I should have done sooner. Get the catch can, because you'll be shocked at how much gets caught in there. I was shocked at how much I was pulling out of my catch can because it goes straight into your intake manifold if you don't have it.
Okay.
Well, that's good to know, Connor.
What is this catch can you're talking about?
Well, we can show you. Hold on. I've been driving this, and I changed it. I think I checked it maybe a couple hundred miles ago, maybe 1,000. Let's see what's in it.
I'm hoping mine quiets up too as well. The only two oils most of everybody runs, will run, Motorcraft, or everybody agrees that everybody runs a Motorcraft filter.
So this right here, can you see that?
Yeah.
This cylinder, that's right. A catch can, and it's like basically like a breather from the valve cover into your intake manifold.
Okay. You installed that yourself?
Yes, it's really easy to do. It's 2 clips, but you take this off. Jesus, this thing's still hot.
Tilt your screen down so you can see your.
I'm gonna pull it up. Yeah. But you take the can off from the bottom. I don't even know if you'll be able to see how much. Yeah, and I've got stuff in here, and I've only driven this like a couple hundred miles, but can you see that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
This oil's pretty clean though, so I mean it shouldn't be anything bad. I guess I could just wipe this out with a rag real quick and put it back on.
See, we're getting things done. We're getting maintenance done.
Well, I'm getting an education, so I didn't know about the catch can.
And whenever you look up the catch can, you're going to be like, wow, they charge that much for this little piece of plastic and metal?
Okay. Where do you get it?
This one's a JLT.
You can get a JLT. There's, I think I'm going to get the Ford Performance one.
Even though Ford Performance one that's the hard plastic one, right? That looks like a box almost.
Yeah, and it bolts on. I think it goes right on the bolt on the reservoir.
Yeah, and you can get them for the passenger side and the driver side. The one you really need is the passenger side. The driver side, you might pick up a drop occasionally, but you're really not going to get anything.
See, the driver side one, if you look them up for the S197, have you actually found them? I've found them where people have modified the GT350 one to put on the driver's side.
No, I haven't really looked. I haven't looked because I heard you never get anything over there. I saw videos where people weren't getting anything. But yeah, so if you're looking up mods that I recommend Laguna, I would recommend a catch can. I'd also recommend a stainless clutch line.
Okay.
If you ever, I don't know how hard you drive your car, but when I was driving mine super hard, the plastic line that runs for your hydraulic clutch there, mine would get hot and deform, and the pedal would get stuck to the floor occasionally, and I have to pump it to get it to come back up. Another option which is another thing I want to do, is I want to separate my brake and my clutch fluid. And Shelby Racing, I think, is the company. They sell a reservoir for that.
Okay.
It's not too much, but that's something I want to pick up.
I have the other reservoir from SV. Is it SVE from LMR?
Yeah.
Mine. That's the other option.
Yeah, that's probably cheaper too.
I liked it because
Cheaper in a good way because SVE. I think SVE makes good stuff. They're just more reasonable price.
My problem that I seen was everybody. It seemed like it was a 50-50 chance of the Shelby reservoir leaking. So there was guys that had great luck, and there was guys that installed it, and within 50 miles, it was leaking.
I didn't hear about that.
I've read quite a bit about it. That's why I went with that one. So there's even guys out there that modify, what was it, the GTO reservoir from the Pontiac GTO. I read some guy had a whole form and a list of stuff, and it was like $50, like $25 worth of parts. And I'm like, yeah, I'd spend $100.
Hold on, Nate. You're saying that the SV would be more preferable to the Shelby?
I from what I read here, I'll show you what mine looks like. Because if you look up the Shelby one, it's a totally different thing. And I mean, it's a split 50-50. Hold on.
What about the full screen? If I can figure out what the heck I'm doing. Take myself off full screen. Cold start, middle of the night.
Wouldn't be the first time.
That, by the way, that's a D major triad. That note, those 3 notes. Just FYI.
All right. So I'm on my laptop, so I'll do the best I can. So, try not to break everything in the process. So, normally your clutch line's right here.
Yeah.
I have the separated reservoir, so you'll get the aluminum. So you have the sound tube that normally comes through here. I have it up in the attic, so I can't show you. The sound tube normally bolts here.
Yep.
You can undo that. You'll get the you can get the delete kit. It's the sound tube delete kit from LMR. Whenever you buy this, and this will come with the reservoir, the block that takes its place with the mounting hardware. And
I recommend that sound tube delete kit too. I think getting rid of that tube, it really cleans up the look of the engine.
And you'll also get the actual what do they call this? There's a piece that goes inside where the old line goes. It actually goes inside of the actual plastic where the old line went on. That's on the bottom here now. And then you actually get a cover. And then I just took small zip ties for extra reassurance. So
later, Connor.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We'll see you later, Connor. I'm getting quite an education this evening.
Well, I'm glad. I love talking about. I can talk about this stuff all day long. So I love talking about. I'm glad that we're discussing boss stuff here. But yeah, let's see.
Thanks for showing that, Nate.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the delete kit, you'll pull the sound tube. I'm assuming you still have the stock air box.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, so the tube comes off that. If it's been on there a minute, be careful because you can crack. If that plastic's brittle, you can crack the connection to the air box, the air tube. I did it, and I got lucky because there was another guy from the group who just sent me his.
Is there a replacement aftermarket for that, or?
I think there is, and I don't think I don't want to say it's like super cheap because I think it is different than the GT one.
Okay. And this is the sound tube you're talking about?
Yeah. No. So what? Yeah, the sound tube will connect to the air box. I don't know if I have it here. No, I put all that stuff in storage, or I would show you.
Mine's in the attic. Take me off full screen.
No, man.
I don't think anybody wants to see my ugly mug.
But yeah, so like Nate, you have a cold air intake?
No.
Oh, so you could show him the delete. No.
Yeah. I never even thought about it. After you said that. A lot of people just go to the hardware store because they're not willing to spend the $20 from LMR.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, you can just go to the hardware store and buy the rubber cap and a hose clamp. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't feel like going to the hardware store and figure out what
you can do that. That is, I was going to be that guy as well. I was going to buy the hardware store $2 version.
Honestly, I probably one of the few that.
So you bought yours too?
No, I bought mine from LMR. Oh, Nate, I put that trim stuff on my battery cover. Dude,
Yeah.
it like looks like I painted it. It looks so good.
Yeah. Great. So factory intakes here. That sound tube hooks up here.
Okay.
You'll take it off. It'll have I think it's just got the normal squeeze clamp, doesn't it, Brailsford?
I think it's a hose clamp, but I think like it's like one of the ones that's got like a gap that kind of tugs on the I don't know. It's got a place to sit.
Yeah. So this is in the kit you'll get this rubber cap,
Yeah,
hose, clamp, and then I don't know if
the firewall clamp, right?
yeah, no, it's just a plug. So down in the firewall, see if I can see it here. Right. You can't really see it.
There's a
little. It's just a plug. So you'll pull whenever you pull the sound tube, you actually just pull it out of the firewall.
okay.
And then they'll give you the plug that goes in its place along with that cap and hose.
But when that's not there, it really opens up the driver's side of the engine, and you can see like the valve.
Yeah.
Everything looks better. It looks better.
Okay. Cool. Thanks. So I got some things to do on my car. It looks like.
I mean, these are just simple cleanup things and basic, like the catch can. I just wish I had done it before I'd put. I don't know. By the time I did it, my car already had 60,000 miles, which I mean, it's still low miles. I just wish but after seeing like how much oil was actually getting sucked through that thing, I was like, I wish I had done it sooner.
Okay.
I got a really good deal on my catch can. I got it for my buddy had custom modified it for his 15 GT. And so he had to put his supercharger. So he had altered the hoses. So he had to cut one to make it work. So he just gave me the can. I bought the can for $25, and then I called JLT. He's like, hey, I need hoses because I broke one. How much is the hose kit? They sent me the hoses for $22. So I got a catch can for like $20 or $47.
Nice.
Yeah, I got mine in June of 22, and I've done the one-piece drive shaft. I did everything that had to do with the MT82. So I did stainless steel braided clutch line, the separated remote reservoir for the clutch pressure plate, light and flywheel, ARP bolts, slave cylinder, pilot bearing.
I just saw something here. Arrows suggested getting an MGW shift.
I got an MGW shifter.
I got that as well. I recommend to everybody. I've driven MGW and I've driven a 15 with a Barton. I will always recommend the MGW over the Barton. The Barton's not bad, but I definitely think the quality is higher with the MGW.
Got it.
So, can you show them your MGW?
Oh yeah, I have a spare MGW from Eris.
I keep thinking Miller Genuine Draft MG.
Yep.
MGW keeps defaulting to Miller Genuine Draft.
It's actually the color of it too.
Oh, is it really? Okay.
So this was actually sent to me by Eris for helping out here.
That thing's beautiful. Look at that.
But yeah, I mean this the throws. They're very stout, and it feels very secure when you throw them in gear. I've had one on my car since I had it, and yeah, I highly recommend it. Eris, if you can do it, if I was buying a brand new one, he went from the race spec's good. I have the race spec. The X spec, he sent me some pictures. He measured the distances in the throw from the race spec and the X spec, and the X spec it cut out like, I don't know, it was like 2 centimeters or something like that. He's in here, but like his throws are so short. Like if you really wanted to bang through the gears quickly, X spec's probably the way to go.
X spec, okay.
So they have 2 versions of each. I would look this up one other time, and I kind of lost track of what we were doing, got off on another topic. So I just pulled up their website. So they have 2 standards, which is your race spec. The first one's a 15% reduction in throw, which is 3 inches. The low profile, which is 19%, which takes it down to, looks like 2.835, which I'm assuming is like, what is that, 2 and 13/16 or something like that. And then they have 2 X specs. The standard, which is a 21% reduction, which takes it down to about 2, it looks like 2 3/4. And then there's a low pro that's a 25% reduction. It's 2.625 inches in throw. So you're talking about pushing almost a half an inch from your standard race spec to the shortest throw in the X spec. So that's why it looks like so much.
Yeah. What's Rich trying to say? The catch cans were for direct injection cars, port injection, fuel cleans the back of the valves. Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, pinks. They're the way to go, man. They're MGW is. I'm on the bandwagon there. Like if I ever got another car without it, I'd get it.
Yeah, looks great. Now, what's the difference between the stock? Well, one bolts to the frame, the other is bolted to the transmission. Is that how it works?
One bolts to the stock one bolts to the transmission. So if this is your transmission and this is the body,
yeah,
one half bolts here and then the other half actually bolts to the body. And I think that's where the shift problem is with everybody is the transmission flexes and the actual stock shifter doesn't move as much. So it misaligns it is what I kind of come to my own conclusion. The MGW bolts directly to the transmission. So it disconnects from the body altogether. So that now your shifter will start moving. Whenever you stomp on the gas, the shifter will move a little bit like an old car.
Right.
I've never been
like an old car.
And the other thing is and I don't have all the upgrades Nate has here. I have a lot of them sitting here waiting to go in the car. But between the MGW and the stainless clutch line, I've never experienced high RPM lockout that people talk about. Not once.
Most people will do that. And a lot of the time it fixes any high RPM lockout that you'll have. I just want to deal with it.
You don't know what high RPM lockout is. If you've tried to drive your car extremely quickly and you've tried to quickly shift from second to third and all of a sudden you can't push it in gear, you're probably getting locked out.
Yeah. I haven't had that happen yet, but I mean, I'm not revving the hell out of the car. I mean, it's not how I drive it.
Yeah.
I mean, I drive spirited, but I don't drive it like I'm on a track or anything like that.
Yeah, I got you.
Probably won't have lockout problems then.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that either. I'm not saying
no.
Yeah.
Yours will last. Ours will probably be blowed up.
Yeah, the direction. I tell you what, man. Rich, I saw some videos of some of the early direct injection Chevy motors. Man, the amount of crap that was in those motors after like 40,000 miles was unreal. I'd never seen anything like it. It looked like a 200,000 mile motor. The MGW with the Tremec. Hey, what's up, Tony? MGW with the Tremec isn't as big an upgrade as it is with MTA2. Oh yeah, I'd imagine so.
What was this tick, though, this infamous tick that you guys were talking about, the coyote tick? What is that?
It's valve ticking.
Yeah, it's random. Some cars do it, some don't. Sometimes it'll go away with the oils you use. So it just develops. If I started my car right now, I guarantee it'll do it. It'll do it all the time. It's just a slight, almost like there's a slight exhaust leak. Okay. All it is it's the lifters. It's nothing to ever be concerned about. As far as I've ever been able to tell and what I've read, guys have got 200. I've read guys have 200,000 miles with that tick and never had an issue.
I've heard the Hemi tick is kind of a fatal thing. It's like,
well,
a little bit of
Hemis will drop a rod.
Really?
Yeah. Some of the Hemis have been prone to dropping rods and they'll, that's it.
One cylinder, no called, no showed.
Like I would call out the Black Ghost and the Demon 170. It's like,
the rumor is right now that the Demon 170 that they premiered got stolen at that show.
I heard about that. Yeah, so I heard. You know, by the way, I watched somebody had a phone that they videoed it going down the track. So I used my watch here and I timed it. I looked at what I estimated as soon as it took off. I hit the stopwatch on my watch, and it looked like it made it down the track in 8 seconds. I mean, it was far away to gauge. I couldn't really gauge exactly where the end of the quarter mile was, but to me, my amateur estimation was 8 seconds. So I think it's within the range of what they were claiming, like 8.9 seconds.
They said 8.91 or something like that.
Yeah. So I think it was within the range, but they never showed it up on the lights. The boards never lit up.
Yeah.
So
well, they wouldn't want to. You wouldn't want to premiere it and it not make the spec you just said.
You mean like Elon Musk when he smashed out the window in his Cybertruck?
Yep.
Unbreakable window. So.
That was great.
Yeah, wasn't it?
I wanted to show you this, Brailsford. So my buddy, he went out 3 weeks ago and bought a brand new Bronco. He bought a base model two-door, and he just put $10,000 in a lift kit and wheels and tires on it.
Hold
up. Look at that.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, it looks good.
It's a 2.3.
Yeah, 7-speed manual.
Oh, you get them in a manual.
Yep.
7 speeds.
Got the MT88 in it.
Okay, never heard of the
It's
MT88.
got the same problems the MT82 has, synchro problems.
So it's a get rag still.
I asked him, I said, what's the, because he's the guy that'll find every weak point in every vehicle ever. New, old, I don't care, because he beats the crap out of all of his vehicles.
Okay.
And I asked him, I said, what's the weak point? Transmission isn't going to make it. This is instant response. He said it isn't going to make it. And he said that they said that they got brass synchronizers in them. And I went, oh, so it's just another MT82 problem with a different number on it.
Nah. Well, isn't that a problem?
Ford's cutting costs, I guess. The bean counters, as Shelby always called them, the bean counters, which he
It's like there's certain things you don't cheap out on.
Well, it's just crazy because the whole thing was we wanted when they came out with the Boss, right? They didn't want to do it unless they could do it right, and they did a lot right. Like the motor is phenomenal, super, like probably one of the most reliable V8s, if not the most reliable V8 Ford's ever made for a muscle car. That being said, why did you not go the full route and finish the drivetrain? Like why must you plague us with the GT?
What I want to know is why did Ford not give up? They gave us the MT82 and not the Tremec, but they made sure to give the Bullet car the Tremec.
Yeah, but I mean wait, the Bullet car? You're talking about
the 2019, 2020? It has a Tremec in it.
No, it didn't. The Bullet has the MT82, and I thought the Bullet has the MT82, and then the Mach 1 got the Tremec because the Bullet had the same motor, same horsepower, had 480 that the Mach 1 had. And then the Mach 1 picked up the Tremec. I thought so. Google.
I'm already there. I'm almost positive because they talked about the Mach 1 being a cross link between the GT350 and the Bullet car. And I read, and I was like, "You've got to be kidding me! The Bullet car got a Tremec." Let me find it here.
Probably Ford knows there's guys like us that'll fix the MT82. They're just gambling that we're not going to sue them. So,
well, that doesn't help me. I said, "What transmission? It's 6-speed manual transmission." Thanks.
That's helpful. Unlike the Bullet, the Mach 1 utilizes. Maybe it didn't have it. I could have swore it did.
Yeah, the Mach 1 picked it up because that was what made it. That's what made it stand aside because they didn't give it any more power. They just gave it the. Tremec.
By the way, Ford got slammed in Georgia a while back, not that long ago, with a Ford truck. Must have been an F-150 that collapsed and killed the couple. They got it's like a $1 billion judgment. It was huge. It was horrendous. I'm sure they appealed it, but Ford must like litigation because they keep making cars with like something that's like 98% there, but that 2% is what kills them in class action lawsuits and wrongful death suits and everything else.
Yeah.
Yep. 2019, 2020, MT82. Okay, I'm not so upset about the bullet car.
Yeah, they didn't. The Mach 1 was the fix, which is why a lot of people were surprised the Mach 1 wasn't the next boss.
No.
But then people are like, for last time they did the boss, they revamped the motor completely. That wouldn't be a revamp. It's a parts car.
Well, I'll work with the MT82. I guess I'll probably send it out to Calamars someday.
I mean, I would drive it until it dies. I would just drive it. Like mine's still stock, and I thought it was on its way out when it started whining, and it's still driving fine. It whines. It shifts fine. I've had no issues.
Okay.
When mine comes apart across the ground will be when I worry about it.
Yeah. And that's the other thing too. Maybe it's just because I have peace of mind because I have a spare transmission sitting right next to me.
Yeah, right.
So like if I honestly don't really worry about driving it rough.
The only thing that makes me mad is because it'll be down.
Well, what I'm trying to do is I want to get a video. I got a friend here locally with Mach 1. I want to just trade cars with them and just film. I want to drive the Mach and let them drive the boss. And I don't let people drive my car like ever. So, but if I'm in possession of their car and they're in possession of mine, I think we have a mutual agreement.
Yeah, I let my daughter drive my Laguna once around the block, and she fell in love with the car. And then, she like a couple weeks later said, "Oh, there's a car show going on like at 11 o'clock at night on a Friday night." And I'm thinking, there's no car show going on at 11. She just wanted to take it out and screw around with the car and probably wreck it with her boyfriend or who knows what. So I said, no, you're not covered under insurance, so can't do that. No can do. So that was a pretext for saying no to a 19-year-old.
Well, there's no cable. It's a hydraulic line.
Yeah, it was the first hydraulic. I think they went the hydraulic. I think at the late S197.
The boss has the hydraulic line, so I imagine the 11 has it. But that was an issue. The hydraulic line would deform with high heat, and the pedal would freaking get stuck to the floor.
That's crazy.
Well, that happened to me at least. That's what was happening to me. The moment I made it something a little more, durable.
Now, does your dad's car have hydraulic clutch, or is his cable?
I have no idea. I've never gotten under it.
Looked.
What about the oil pans? Are they on the 2012, 2013? Are they made of plastic or are they metal?
They're steel, as far as I know. I don't think they went to the composite pans until in the mid like S550s.
Okay. Good to know. I saw the end, by the way, the end of the Ford GTs. I don't know if you guys heard of Shmee's Garage or whatever it's called, Shmee. He was over in Detroit, and there was like 12 or 13 of them that were in this garage ready to be sold, or they already been spoken for, like the Ford GT LM. So they're done. I mean, the Multimatic's not going to be kicking them out anymore out of Markham, Ontario. Kind of sad to see it go because I love the Ford GT. It's just a beautiful car, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah, that's gorgeous.
All carbon fiber. Won Le Mans in 2016, and then I guess the rules said, "Oh, Ford, you're just a little too fast, so here's 200 pounds for you to throw in the car with a wedge or whatever." So they started losing then because of the extra weight.
I'm interested. I guess I haven't really. Are they F1 started up, right?
I don't know.
I haven't been watching it, but I know that Ford's now running the Red Bull team.
Oh, really? Okay, interesting. By the way, have you guys seen this kid named Brent Cruz? He's 14 years old. He won a Trans Am race at Road America last year. 14 years old, driving a 900 horsepower Mustang in Trans Am. He beat the whole field at Road America, youngest ever.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, he's racing this year too. He's turning 15, I guess, next week, and he won another race. I think it might have been in Detroit, and then he came in fourth at like Ohio or someplace like that in Trans Am. He's 14 years old.
I'm assuming his parents had to sign some kind of like waiver or something. How's that even legal?
Who knows?
You're not on the street.
Right.
True.
But the fact he's 14 and he's beating adults like they're twice his age, it's like that must sting a little bit, you know.
Probably has a definite weight advantage.
Well, I think they not make the cars equal in weight? Don't they have to pass tech? And like if you're too light, do you have to put a wedge in? Or I don't know if the balance of performance is what they have in Europe, right, under the FIA. I don't know if that's in Trans Am or not.
I have no idea.
I would think it would be though.
I can't say for sure.
Lame Gorilla says he's waiting to replace his MT82. Still missing fifth gear and has nasty lockouts. Yeah, see, I wouldn't mind a Tremec, but I just got such a good deal on my Stage 3.
What about the Tremec? If you put a Tremec in, theoretically, is the reverse gear different then? I mean, it's not over to the left and up. It's pushed down and over to the left. Is it to the right or?
I don't know. I think there's a difference in the gear ratios, though. I think
there's two versions of it too. There's the 266 first, and then there's like the 290 something first. So the MT82 is, I think, at three. Don't quote me, like 3.6 first gear. So the first gear is a lot higher geared. So what a lot of guys will do is change the rear ends in their Boss to like 410s from 373s when they do a Tremec to try to get the gears back close.
Good to know, Tony. Man, how do we have this many people in here this late? Like, I'm ready to go to bed.
Different time zones. I'm an hour behind you guys. That's 9:59 here. So
yeah, I mean it's only 10. I mean it's 10:59, but like work starts early in the military.
I got court in the morning. It's at 8:30, but everything's done on Zoom. They don't want the lawyers back in the courtrooms anymore. You know, they don't want us back. It's unless you're doing a plea. Then when you show up in person with your client, everything's done on Zoom. The judges are actually getting mad at us if we show here.
I think you're cutting out.
Yeah,
it's me.
No.
And he's gone. He's got a 2013 Laguna. He's got a 2013 Laguna Seca matte, and it's got a red stripe. It's black with red. Yep. He's frozen. Hey, what's up, Skylar? Skylar Ray. Man, we got a couple people in here I've never seen before.
Rip internet.
Oh, he moved.
You're back. Nope, you're not back.
There you go. I think you're back.
I think you're good.
There you go. You're good now.
Yeah. Is he moving? Or is he not? I don't think he's moving.
Yeah, he is.
They were black and silver, Tony. Somebody changed his stripe before he got it. And
I tried to track it to see if it was some aberration from Ford, but I don't think it is. I mean, there's no evidence. When you look at the way the S's are on the Boss part, it's not the same font as what you would find on every other Boss 302 that's out there. The Boss 302 uses called Euro style for the font, where the S's are concerned. So it's Euro style, and that's not Euro style. The S's are slightly different. So somebody had to have peeled off the tape on my car and put the red on because they like the red better than the silver.
I know Greg Boss from the Boss Owners Group on Facebook. he makes the vinyl decals, like the original ones that are reflective.
Yeah.
And he has a 2012 Boss, and he did a set of 2012 decals in the reflective stuff, and it looks freaking cool.
The C stripe.
Yeah, I would consider doing it if I really need mine replaced, but I won't anytime soon.
So
But,
Yeah,
your
I'm just
stripes
gonna
aren't
leave it.
reflective on your 2012.
what?
The 2012s aren't reflective. I know they're gloss, but I thought they were reflective too. And I've seen it must have been Greg Boss's. Then I seen it was reflective.
Maybe. I think he might be out towards you.
I seen it on the owners group. I think I was going through old posts.
Oh,
If
Pinks.
anybody's interested, my car's number 356. 356 is the number on my car.
I got to figure it out, Pinks. I got to figure it out. I had it listed for something, but that's the local price. So I'd probably I don't know. I don't even know how much it costs to ship. I got to ask Garris how much it costs him to ship it, because and I wish I kept the box he sent it to me. No, the box he sent it to me and got destroyed. The thing showed up, the box was in pieces, and I was pretty worried about it.
No.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead. You're good.
No, you still have that Boss 302 flag. I always loved that thing. I think it was.
Yeah, I got it. That was actually a gift from VDub, one of the subscribers. He'd been watching. Man, he started following the channel forever ago, and he was always talking about getting a Boss, constantly talking about it. And he finally picked one up. He got a comp orange. He got one of my favorite color combos. He got the comp orange and the white stripe.
Yeah, I love that combo. Yeah,
and his also had the Super Snake hood on it, so it had like the real cool ram air intake on it. And
okay.
it looks super aggressive. It looks really good. It was painted up too to match. So like they painted the hood very clean, and he sent me that flag, and so I still have it. I took it down because I was doing some renovating here.
Yeah, it's a great looking flag. Love it.
I think you can get them. There's a couple companies out there make flags.
Yeah, I had one made. I already had one made for myself.
Ah, okay.
Should I go get it?
Sure.
I'll be back in a second.
That MGW shifter, Brailsford. I don't know if it'll fit Pinks.
Oh yeah, you're a 550.
11 to 14, and then it's a separate one from 15 to present.
Yeah, you got to get a different one, Pinks, because the location's different, I believe.
I got inspired by you. I said, "Oh, he has one. I think I want one too." So I had this made.
Oh yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get my dad. So my dad just picked up a laser engraver, and he does a lot of woodworking. So I'm probably one of the future episodes. I've already talked to him about it. We're probably going to collab again. I'm going to go over there, and we're going to make a car show display. And my vision for it is, I've already done one myself with scrap wood, ones that you park under the wheel. Well, I want to make one that has it's kind of like, it's got a flat back, but the front end kind of like curls out like this. So it'll look like a half moon or a hemisphere essentially.
Okay.
And then I want to use a laser engraver to engrave Boss 302 on the side, on both sides. And then I want to use the laser engraver, just take a big plank of wood and like engrave all the owner, a bunch of stats about the car, mods and stuff, and make an all wood car show display.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. And then just coat it in stain, and then just have like the part that your car parks on top of be like retractable on a hinge. And you just basically use almost like a deadbolt lock to lock it in down below or lock it in for stowage.
That's your Danish ancestry speaking there, woodworking.
Yeah.
That's what the Vikings did. Oh, they're boat makers. So.
Yeah, my dad, he's a professional woodworker. He's been doing it forever, man. And I wish I had learned. He tried to teach me, but he did it the boring way. He handed me like a block of sandpaper and a piece of wood, and I hated that. And so I took that. I remember that, and I hated doing that. And so I took the opposite approach with my kids. So I gave them, they got their power wheels, and I'll give them my pneumatic air gun, and I'll let them pretend they're changing their tires. Let them use the big tools that aren't going to hurt them, and let them have fun with it. And then as they get older, teach them the right way to do things.
You think you have all sons, right?
All boys.
Yeah. Do you think any of them are going to get into racing, or are you going to dissuade them from that?
No, see, I would love to get them into racing. I wish I had but karts are expensive, and
Yeah.
dude, I mean, I get paid pretty good, but my wife does. She works. She doesn't work full time. I mean, she does work full time, but she's a teacher. Teachers don't make a lot, and 3 kids. Thanks to inflation, food is a ton. So we're very budget oriented here, and we're trying to be smart, trying to make sure my kids can either I want my kids to, if they want to go to college, I want them to be able to go to college. If they want to go to tech school, I want to be able to help them with that. I want them to be set up for success in the future, and I'm already thinking about that stuff, even though they're really young. So we're
14, and he's got an aptitude for racing. I mean, I've taken him a K1 speed here. I don't know if you have K1 in your area, K1 speed karts. He's fast, man. It's like, holy crap, that kid goes fast. And it's kind of surprised me. He's got some aptitude, but I'm kind of leery of pushing him in that direction because, racing is dangerous. It's relatively safe, but you
can get hurt. And I would let my kids do it. I would love to get a racing cart for them, but it's expensive. I don't necessarily have the time for it.
Yeah.
If I had the time for that, my kids are playing baseball and I make that work. But if I had the time for racing and stuff, man, I'd be cranking out all the videos I owe you guys. I've got parts in this garage that are waiting to go on cars. I just don't. I've been trying to find where I'm going to do it and how I'm going to get it done.
Yeah. Well, it's up to him anyway. The kids are going to make their own decisions. So.
Oh, I know my kids would love it. They would absolutely love it.
Lewis Hamilton, I mean, I think he came from a very, modest background, shall I say. And
Brian,
he got discovered by some talent guys. He's like, this guy's got some racing ability. Look where he is today. I mean,
yeah.
And a mentor. So
yeah, I mean, I'd love to get him into that stuff. And honestly, my dad, I try and convince my dad. My dad's got 28 acres. I wish he would just build even if it's just a go-kart racetrack in his backyard somewhere in the middle of nowhere, and let the kids go rip them around there.
Well, maybe they could get you're in this kind of the south where you're in the southern. You're in NASCAR country, shall I say, right?
Yeah, I'm in North Carolina.
Yeah. So, I mean, NASCAR, that'd be a great career.
Well, we got some really good, short tracks around me. And they get one of them just got picked up for the NASCAR Roots series. And so they just had some pretty good races here. A couple, ex big name NASCAR drivers like Bobby Labonte came through here recently. And then there's another one that's known as the nicest short track in the country, Carteret County Speedway. And it is super, super nice. And it's a lot of fun to go to. The guy who owns it's a great guy. He used to have a cruise in there, would show up with the kids' cars, and he even brought out more Power Wheels for the kids to drive. And at races, right? You go to these races, and if you're a kid and you show up, every single race I've been to, the dude has cases of Hot Wheels, and every kid that shows up gets a Hot Wheel.
Oh, nice!
Every single one. And then he makes his drive. If they're racing at his track, as a driver, you shall have your car out for the public to walk up and look at. So, if a driver tries to cover their car up, he'll direct them. Nope, uncover your cars because we're letting the fans come out and take a look. It's a good time.
Racing's not going away. I mean, I don't care what's going to power cars in the future, be it hydrogen, electricity, whatever. It's not going away. The spirit of competition is always going to be there.
What's up, Salty? What's up?
By the way, we got NASCAR's coming to Chicago in July. NASCAR.
Yeah, I should see how that goes.
Street course. I'm interested to see how that works.
Yeah, I was surprised that Chicago was going to allow that to happen. That's great. It's going to be along Lakeshore Drive. IMSA is going to be the race on Saturday, which would be I'm more interested in.
They're going to run IMSA there on the street course?
Yeah, they're going to have They're going to have IMSA.
Interesting.
IMSA will be on Saturday. NASCAR, I believe, will be on Sunday. Is how it's going to go. I'm in. So,
They're doing anything they can to capture anybody possible.
Hopefully I don't get shot there. It does sound so.
That's what I thought. We were talking about one of the other streams. I don't think you were in there, but we were talking about the over under and how many holes they find in racing cars.
I'll buy myself a John Wick suit, a 3-piece suit. Very painful, sir.
Yes, Sublime. He could be your lawyer.
Yeah, I didn't think Sublime was in here earlier. I was like, he would have definitely chimed in when you said it earlier.
I do criminal now. I was doing personal injury, but I haven't figured out how to get PI cases.
Don't let him fool you. This guy's a criminal. He could use you.
I'll fight the cases. I mean, I really pissed off a prosecutor because I ran one up the flagpole on a petition to rescind a summary suspension on a DUI case. She did not like that one bit. I lost. My client blew a .077, so it was right on the edge of a DUI. But unfortunately, there was a drug combination too, and under the statute, the combination of the two can put you over the limit. Judge wasn't buying it, so I mean, he ruled against me. But they don't like it when you challenge them like that. I tried to negotiate to try to get it bumped down to reckless, and she said, "Not after we did a hearing on it. Forget it." So it's like, all right, whatever. But I got another trick up my sleeve because my client, who shall remain nameless, got a DUI in Wisconsin prior. So this would be my client's second one. Wisconsin is conviction only, so there's no supervision. So I'm going to try to get a supervision if I can. So see how that works.
Matt, I'm about to end this stream, man. You should just start up your own.
I don't know. I'm too criminal. I might not be able to.
I see it looks like a green 500. Got to have a green, is it?
I don't want to draw the cops or anything.
What's the name of your color, Matt, of your car?
Grabber lime.
Grabber lime. Beauty.
Grabber lime.
What part of Illinois are you in, Laguna?
I'm in Cook County, Chicagoland.
You like in the city?
Pardon me?
Are you like in the city?
No, I'm not in the city. I'm out in the western suburbs.
Okay, I'm out by St. Charles.
Oh, you are? Okay. Kane County.
Oh, okay. I was actually up there this morning.
I'm in Bartlett. So.
Bartlett?
Yeah.
Shit, you're like 10 minutes from me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm in West Chicago.
Who are you? What's your name?
Huh?
What's your name? Or
Trouble.
Trouble. I'll write it down. Trouble. Well, you ever want to meet up, and talk shit about cars? Pardon my language. Talk crap, rather. Sorry.
Yeah, no. Find me on IG. Same name, Sublime GT500. I'll give you a number and stuff. You're on IG, yeah?
On what? Find you on what? Instagram? Instagram, IG?
Yep. Same name as
60 years of age. I'm going to be 60 in June, which is scary. But sometimes when I hear these acronyms, it's lost on me.
No, he's also going to be 60 in June, I think, too. So
53.
I'm not happy about it. I'm healthy, but I'm not happy about it.
Look here, Brills, for one of these days, your muscles are going to start growing flaccid and everything else. And I'll be the first person to say, welcome to the club.
I just had an orthopedic appointment for my torn labrum because, they're trying to figure out what they're going to do with me next. And she's like, you shouldn't be rushing to surgery. I'm like, I'm not rushing to surgery. And she's like, everything's working like it's supposed to, despite your torn labrum. She's like, what I would do is just keep working out because your muscles seem to be holding everything where it's supposed to be. She's like, the problem is if you stop, then your body's going to fall apart. I was like, well, okay.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to put some bulletproof vests on the drivers before they hop in and just go on the race.
Yeah, they probably will. So
put some Kevlar on the doors.
We'll have some. I'm going. I don't care. I'm going.
It might be a good idea to do that.
Yeah, no, I just found out the other day I'm going too, it looks like, so.
Yeah. I don't know who was responsible for setting it up, whether it was Lori Lightfoot or Lighthead.
Oh yeah, it was Beetlejuice for sure.
Well, you know what? Hats off to her for that one thing she did. So
yeah.
For that, to that degree, I respected that. But for everything else, forget it. But I mean, for her bringing it to the city, that was a great move. So
Don't age Sublime too much. He isn't that much older than I am. Oh yeah, I love MGI's comment. Live in 5 with Convict Company. Nice.
Well, guys, I'm gonna hop off here.
Yeah, I need to go to bed. I got to get up early for work tomorrow.
I get to sleep in because I don't have to race the court. I'm on Zoom. So
I think Sublime's going live after me. If you wanted to keep
Pinks said he'll go live if I don't. So Pinks, if you can, that'd be sweet. I'll hop in though. I'll be there.
Me too.
So he looks like a few people
Hey,
will be
Laguna, I
here.
appreciate you hopping in here, Matt, Zach, Nate.
Nice to meet you,
appreciate it.
Laguna.
Yeah, Laguna, find me on IG. We'll definitely hook up for sure. I'm
Instagram,
dying.
and you're under Sublime GT 500. I wrote it down, and your name's
Yeah.
Trouble. Got it.
My name's Trouble. Yeah, I'd love to see a car, man, for sure.
Sure, definitely.
All right, guys. I'll talk
All
to
right,
you later. Appreciate everyone hopping in, and
Later.
see you guys probably next week.
All right, later, guys.